I was also curious about any remodeling you've done to the kitchen or bathrooms in the last 5 years.
Well, 2 years ago I did some remodeling of the kitchen for around 20k, but apart from that I didn't do much.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Last question, why did you decide to sell this property?
Well, me and my wife were going through a divorce, so right now I just want to sell it as soon as possible actually.
I understand. Thanks for sharing that. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to answer my questions. I wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. Today I'm keeping up with the new video series that I started in my last video, which is how to create an AI solution for a particular business. If you clicked on this video, you're like an entrepreneur or a real estate professional that is looking to leverage AI to make more money. You are in the right place because in this video, I will show you a no-code way on how you can build a solution that mixes AI and automation for real estate investors. I have spent many hours making everything work so that I can show you how you can do it too. So you don't want to go anywhere because it will most likely help you if you want to make money out of AI and automation. Before we get started, my name is Smail Alaoui. I'm an AI engineer and entrepreneur. On this channel, I focus on bringing you AI-focused content for entrepreneurs like me who are looking to get started and take advantage of this AI gold rush. So if this kind of content interests you, make sure to watch my other videos because they will most likely give you ideas of AI businesses. Also, if you have any comments, make sure to comment down below. I will be answering them. It's been a while since I started watching content about real estate investment. From podcasts like Bigger Pockets to YouTube channels like the ones of Graham Stephan or Meet Kevin. And also, let's face it, we all played the Monopoly game, so we all have a special relationship with real estate. Some time ago, I was wondering how AI can help real estate investors in their business. I decided to focus on residential real estate investment, and I found that you basically have 4 types of investors. You have first the people who invest for cash flow. They will buy a property and then rent it for a short-term, mid or long-term period of time. Then you have investors who buy for property appreciation. They will sell after waiting until the property's value has increased. Then you have wholesalers who basically do the matching between the property buyers and sellers. And finally, you have house flippers. They buy a property, do some remodeling and then sell it for some added profit. Then I noticed that all those people have something in common. They are all looking for a seller. Those are the people who own a property, are serious about their decision to sell and want to do it as soon as possible. So in this video, we're gonna tackle the following problem: how AI can help investors find motivated sellers. If you are a real estate wholesaler, you're likely spending your days calling 50 to 100 people per day trying to see how serious property owners are with their decision to sell. Well, it is very important for you to optimize this step because other wholesalers most likely have the same leads as you. So if you find a way to extract motivated sellers faster than your competition, then it definitely means more money for you because you'll be able to snatch the deal from their hand. Let me show you in a simpler way. So on the left you have investor A and on the right you have investor B. They both compete for the same list of leads. Investor A doesn't use any AI, while Investor B uses AI and automation to pre-qualify the leads and find quality motivated sellers in a fast and automatic way. In green are the motivated sellers. They both wake up at the same time. Investor A will spend his day calling and sending SMS to try to qualify the leads. For Investor B, while he's still enjoying his coffee in the morning, an AI bot is already working very hard to contact all the leads, qualify them, sort them by seriousness, and record all the results in a Google Sheets. After he finished his coffee, Investor B just had to focus on the top quality leads and call them. And this results in a deal where he will be making $5,000. So now you understand the power of AI and automation. By the end of the day, Investor B works less and yet makes more money than Investor A because he has automated all his processes thanks to AI and automation. So I think you have guessed it by now. what we'll be building is an automatic lead scoring system using AI voice bots. This AI voice bot will be asking 4 simple questions to evaluate and pre-qualify a seller. These 4 questions will evaluate the pricing, the timeline, the motivation behind the seller, as well as the condition of the property. So those are the questions. First, how much do you want for this property? Then the bot will say something like, typically we can close and get your money for this property in the next 14 to 30 days. Does that work for you? Then the bot will ask, what remodeling have you done to the kitchen and the bathrooms in the last 5 years? And finally, the last question is, why did you decide to sell? The AI will give a score to each answer, and this score will be between 0 and 5. The total grade will be the addition of everything, which means the final score of a lead will be a number between 0 and 20, and everything will be stored in Google Sheets. So let's go ahead and build this. The tools we'll be using are the usual suspects if you have seen my previous videos: Blend AI to build the AI voice bots, ChatGPT to process the transcript, Google Sheets to store the results, and Make.com to glue all those tools together. Let's first go through how the prompt of the AI voice bot is set. Of course, you'll get to download everything that you see here for free in my resources page, so feel free to check that out. I put the link in the description. This part is used to set context. So I wrote here, your name is James and you're working at Solomon Investment, a real estate investment firm. I also wrote Solomon Investment is currently looking to buy properties for the next investment in the US. Of course, feel free to read the rest of the prompt, but here I'm making sure that I'm setting context and explaining to the bot that it should ask the seller 4 simple questions. Here I write the actual questions that should be asked. So the first one is, how much do you want for this property? For the second question, the bot will say word for word, typically we can close and get you your money for this property in the next 14 to 30 days. Does that work for you? Then the bot will ask, what remodeling have you done to the kitchen and the bathrooms in the last 5 years? And finally, to evaluate the motivation of the seller, we're also asking, why did you decide to sell? And then the rest of the prompt consists of conversation examples. Here I wrote 2 examples of conversations that could take place. Here I wrote a third example of a conversation, but this is a conversation where basically the seller doesn't have time and doesn't want to answer any question. So now let's look at how the Make.com automation looks like. The actual automation that will happen right after the call ends. I assume that by now you are pretty familiar with Make.com, so I will quickly go through each module one by one, but of course if you don't understand something, feel free to comment and then I will be answering you. So our first module is of course a webhook because we want to catch the transcript of the conversation happening through Blend AI. Then the second module is using OpenAI ChatGPT API because we want to process the transcript. So I wrote here a prompt that will be used by OpenAI to process the transcript. You will also be able to read it when you will download and import my blueprint. But basically we are telling OpenAI to read the transcript and to score each answer to each question and give it a scale from 0 to 5. And another important detail is that we want the result in JSON format. That's what you're seeing here. The next module is used to parse the JSON, which is the output from OpenAI. Then here, similarly to my previous videos, we are using text parser to get rid of the plus from the phone number that we are calling. And then in this Google Sheets module, we are looking for a specific row, the row that corresponds to the phone number that we just called. And here we are actually updating the row. Of course, everything except the number and the total score. So as we said previously, we not only want the score of the lead, but also all the results to be sorted. And we want the best leads to be at the top of the Google Sheets. So what we'll be doing is basically making an API call to Google Sheets. So first here we are creating a JSON because this JSON will be used as the body of our request for Google Sheets API. If you don't understand the data that is here, of course feel free to comment. But basically, the Google Sheets API works in the following way. First, we are selecting the sheet ID where we want to apply the changes. Then we are selecting here the range of cells where we want to apply those changes as well. Then here we select we want to sort according to which column. And here we are selecting the sorting order. And we are writing descending order because we want the leads with the biggest score to be on top. And finally, our last module is to actually make the API call to Google Sheets. As in my previous video, we are using the batch update endpoint. We want it to be a post method, and here for the body of the request, we're just writing the JSON that we just created earlier. And that's pretty much the make.com automation. Let's see how it works with a live demo. As I did in my previous videos, I'll be splitting the screen in 3 parts. Here we will be calling myself, and I will be placing myself as a seller. And then here we'll be monitoring the make.com automation to make sure everything works well. And then here we'll make sure that everything is stored and then sorted. As usual, the first step is to run the make.com automation. Let's run it. And then I will be triggering the call here. Hello?
Hello, this is James from Solomon Investment. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I'm calling because I saw your property listing and wanted to ask you a few questions if you have a moment. How would that be, alright?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Great, thank you. First, how much are you looking to get for this property?
Ideally, I would want at least 200k for it.
Okay, thanks for that information. Typically, we can close and get you your money within 14 to 30 days. Would that timeline work for you?
Yeah, sure. That would be great.
Great, that's very helpful to know. What renovations or updates have you done to the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years?
Nothing much, actually. I just redid the kitchen 2 years ago for an amount of 20k, and apart from that, nothing much.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Last question, what made you decide to sell this property?
Well, actually, me and my wife we are going through a divorce, so yeah, I would like to sell it as soon as possible.
I understand, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate you taking the time to answer my questions.
Yeah, sure.
I wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you again.
So the call just ended. Now the automation just triggered. And we've seen that, yeah, everything has been updated and the Google Sheets just has been sorted. So everything is working. Okay, let's take as an example wholesalers. I did some research and I found that on average they earn around $5k per deal. In a pessimistic scenario, if this AI and automation system is able to earn them 3 more deals per month, which means bringing in an additional $15k per month, I think it is reasonable to price this system for around $4k for a setup fee. And of course, this system requires monthly maintenance because you always need to make sure the servers are working well and you need to keep up with OpenAI API updates and also to be able to fix things up if something goes wrong. So this will also require a monthly maintenance fee of $500, which means in their first month of using the system, these investors will get a 375% ROI. And all the months after that, they will have an ROI of 3000%. Alright guys, that was it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. In my resources page, you'll be able to download the make.com blueprint so that you can import that in your make.com account. If you are a real estate investor or professional and would like to get a system like this to boost your revenues, we can definitely do that for you. You just have to book a meeting with us to the calendar link in the description. By the way, we can develop for you any type of AI and automation system to drive growth. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you have any comments, make sure to comment that below. I will be answering them. Cheers guys!